What happened to the Jedi Temple on Coruscant after the treacherous Order 66 was enacted by Chancellor Palpatine that wiped out a large majority of the Jedi Order? What events transpired after Darth Vader and the 501st Legion stormed the temple and killed the Jedi within? Welcome to the series Star Wars Explained, where we take a lesser-known aspect of the Star Wars mythos and explore it. In canon, the Jedi Temple was cleared out fully by initially Darth Vader, then remaining clones. Palpatine placed a beacon and message to all Jedi originating from the temple that informed them all to return home, and that the horror that was the Clone Wars had finally come to an end. This was of course a trap on the new Emperor's behalf, in order to lure remaining Jedi back to the temple so that they could be slaughtered along with so many other of their brothers and sisters. The beacon, however, was eventually turned off when Jedi Masters Obi-Wan Kenobi and Yoda entered the temple, replacing the original message with that of a warning for all Jedi to stay away. Following the events of Revenge of the Sith, Palpatine ordered large amounts of the temple to be demolished, transforming it until it was unrecognizable, and deemed it an Imperial palace and stronghold for the Galactic Empire. In Legends, much more happened to the Jedi Temple following Order 66. In the days after Order 66, the clones collected most of the bodies of the Jedi within and piled them on the steps of the temple as a symbol of the Empire's power. They also collected many of the Jedi's lightsabers and threw them into private rooms in the temple. This action enraged many Jedi that were still in hiding on the planet, and a group of them disguised as onlookers formed an attack. The group of remaining Jedi gathered near the steps of the temple, but when the time to act came, only one lunged forward, screaming for the others to rally behind him. But his friends failed to move from their places, and the brave yet foolish Jedi was slain by a sea of blaster fire among the bodies of other fallen Jedi. The Jedi Temple then remained a valuable commodity and resource to the Emperor, but many of its secrets were hidden within. After Vader's defeat by the hand of Obi-Wan on Mustafar, the Emperor needed to see if he was still worthy to remain his apprentice. To test Vader, Palpatine ordered him to enter the temple and collect various hidden Sith holocrons throughout the temple, prompting Vader to bypass or destroy many obstacles set in place to keep these holocrons out of the hands of the dark side. In the bowels of the temple, Vader encountered many visions and horrors, experiencing the death of all the Jedi and seeing the consequences of his actions, but the power of the dark side held strong, and the newly anointed Dark Lord of the Sith gathered his hate and anger and pressed forward. Through much trial and hardship, Vader was eventually successful and discovered and retrieved all the hidden holocrons in the depths of the temple. Following this, the Emperor also ordered much of the remaining information in the temple to be searched through, as to acquire as much knowledge as possible. The Emperor even ordered the identification of many of the Jedi that were executed, as to determine the identities of the remaining Jedi still at large. During this time, also a few Jedi Padawans broke into the temple and managed to delete all records of themselves ever existing, thus allowing them to live normal lives if they so wished. Other individuals like bounty hunters such as Aurra Sing broke into the temple to acquire secret knowledge on targets they had acquired. The Jedi Temple became a place many were insanely curious about, and following the eradication of the Jedi from within, many saw it as their opportunity to learn what they never could have before and see what very few had as well. Activity and interest in the temple eventually dwindled, however, and less people desired to enter, with the Emperor only ordering a small group of stormtroopers to guard the temple. It did, however, become the home base for the Imperial Grand Inquisitor, where he made his office in the living space of the Jedi Grand Master, as sort of an insult to the Jedi. Years passed, and Vader decided to test his now secret apprentice Galen Marek similarly to the way he was tested years ago by the Emperor. Vader ordered Galen to the temple to endure the Jedi trials and experience the hardship and visions he had years prior in order to test his valor and see if one day he really could use the boy to aid him in destroying the Emperor. Galen proved strong, killing the stormtroopers still at the temple and completing the Jedi trials, but not all at one time, entering initially by the command of Lord Vader, but later returning and completing them on his own accord, upon completion deeming himself a Jedi. After the destruction of the Empire following the Battle of Endor, the Jedi Temple finally found itself under the guise of the New Republic, allowing Luke Skywalker to visit the site and learn from those that had preceded him. Walking among the Jedi Temple, Luke took in all the remaining knowledge, hoping to rebuild and refill all the text and information that was destroyed or stolen long ago, this time adding new information about the Empire and the rebellion that eventually destroyed it. Although not the main place for training young Jedi, Luke also established the temple as a place to train the next generation of Jedi, yet again making it a place of peace and serenity for the light. Luke even chose to have his wedding ceremony with Mara Jade in the temple. So that's where I'm going to stop. There is more information on the Jedi Temple concerning the Yuuzhan Vong and the war Luke and other Jedi fought against them, but the main story is completed. I love the Jedi Temple, both in EU and in canon. In Legends, it's a unique place because it serves as a location riddled with hardship and death, but also hope and light. It's a unique location that evokes the feelings of both sorrow and serenity. I really hope they explore the Jedi Temple after the fall of the Empire somewhat in canon, because I think it could be really interesting. Anyway, tell me how you feel. Do you like the way the Jedi Temple ended up in Legends, and what do you think the state of it is currently in canon, and do you think we will ever see it again? Thanks as always so much for watching, and may the Force be with you.